here with Jossie and Tori from the Gold Heart Band on Backstage View, guys. Thanks for sitting down. We had met before, and we're going to be putting out that cool workshop that you guys did. Thanks.
Thank you. We're so glad to be here.
Yes.
Thanks for having us.
Excellent. Real exciting. Now, your sister, let's immediately just say hello to her. She's not here. We have an empty seat.
Yes.
Just
For Shelby.
so Shelby would know.
Yes.
So tell us about the band. We're here right now at the IBMAs, and you guys are part of the
Bluegrass Ramble.
The Ramble.
Right. Yes, we were selected to be part of the Bluegrass Ramble this year, and we also played at the Momentum Awards Luncheon. And it was just, every showcase was just amazing.
We had so much fun. It was a really good week, yes.
Tell me about it.
It's been an amazing IBMA this year. The awards luncheon was definitely the highlight of the week.
It was so much fun.
For us. And it's a really special time, too, because this month we're celebrating our 10-year anniversary as a band.
Wow.
So,
and in the band, besides Shelby, there's a few other people that you kind of know.
yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes, we know them quite well. Our dad plays upright bass in the band, and he's been playing bass with us since 2007.
And he learned to play bass just to play with you guys.
He did.
Yeah.
Yes.
That
And
is- what's his full name?
His name is Trent Gold. And it's kind of a cool story, actually. We started playing our instruments, and we had our first performance in 2005, in the end of 2005. And then in 2007, we entered the Virginia State Band Competition. And we had a banjo player and a fill-in bass player that would sometimes play with us. And 10 days before the competition, the bass player that was going to fill in for us called and said that he was unavailable.
We're like, oh no.
So
What are we going to do?
we were panicked because we didn't want to back out of it because we were so excited. And Mom said, well, you better call Dad at work or something, and you guys are going to have to, I don't know, he's going to have to learn how to play bass for this competition. You can do it. And she was really encouraging. And so Jossie called Dad at work. She was like, hey, Dad, what are you doing? And he's like, well, I'm working. She's like, well, how about when you get home tonight,
You can learn some bass.
you can learn bass. And Jossie taught him, because she knew like the chords and everything, how to play 7 songs in 10 days. And we took home second place at that competition.
Wow.
And we give all the credit to Dad for that.
Well, just for all the bass players out there, we'll just let them know your dad is a genius.
Yes,
And
he
it's,
is.
yeah, wow, that is exciting. Well, tell us, let's start out, how did you guys start out as a band?
Yes, as I mentioned before, we started out in 2005, and we grew up listening to all different kinds of music. Mom and Dad always had music playing in the house
Right.
or in the car. Everything from Southern rock to gospel to old country to even some bluegrass, just playing all the time. But then in 2004, Dad found a bluegrass radio station, KXCI, on the radio. We lived in southern Arizona, and we traveled into Tucson. We lived in a small ranching community called Sonoyta. We would travel into Tucson for church every Sunday morning, and Dad found that radio show. And as soon as he did, we listened to it every
we would
Sunday
listen
morning.
to it every Sunday. We looked forward to the drive, to listen to that.
How old
Yeah.
were you guys during those years?
How old were we?
I was, when we first
Listened.
listened, I was probably 14 when we first fell in love with bluegrass music.
So I was 11, and Shelby was 8, I believe.
And
Yeah.
we would, you'd hear bands like The Seldom Scene and Joel Lawson and Lynn Morris, and we loved it. We loved listening to it. And then we went to our first bluegrass festival, and we didn't play anything. And we went to our first bluegrass festival. It was like, wow, this is so amazing. There's people, jamming over here and
Right.
people on stage, and you got to see J.D. Crowe at our first festival, and he was one of the people we would listen to on the radio.
It was pretty
But,
amazing.
On those long drives too, when we were younger, Mom would put in cassette tapes of just kids songs or gospel songs, and she would sing along with it, and then of course we would sing along with it, and then she would start singing the harmony parts.
Right, and she was, teaching us to sing harmony. We weren't aware that she was, but it got in our heads, and then, the way she did that was just so awesome.
Well, for everyone who's not aware of you guys, I just want to throw in that the harmonies that you guys sing is second to none, and that alone is worthy of buying this new tape that I'm just focusing in on right now. It is amazing. I saw the workshop, and we were just discussing how what you guys do in harmonies is just second to none on anyone. I think that
Thank you.
It's
Means
really
a lot.
you guys are in years from now, be looking back at this tape saying, "Wow, amazing! It was just starting out." No, not just starting. You guys have 4 albums out.
Yes.
We do. Yes, we released our very first one. We had been playing a little under a year when we recorded it.
Yep.
And we went to Kentucky to record with Kevin Prater of the James King Band at the time. And then since then we have 3 other projects. Never Let Go, produced by Justin Carbone. And then My Sisters and Me, also produced by Justin. And then recently we just released our 4th project in May, and Ron Stewart of the Boxcars produced it.
That's the one that I just
That is this one,
focused in
right.
on here.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you a question right now. What is the process? You guys write your own songs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how does that work? There's 3 artists, 3 singers. Are you all sitting down together to write? Do you write separately? How does that work? Do you guys fight and pull each other's hair?
Oh, well, it's writing is one of my very favorite parts about the music, because you can take a blank piece of paper and then you can fill it up, and it's automatically this beautiful song. It's full of emotion, and you truly put your whole heart into it, and that's what I love. And my favorite part is when we sit down and we're trying to learn it, and then we come to sing the harmonies, and it's like, whoa, that's a song, and it's amazing, because sometimes I think, well, how are we going to write another song? Everything's been written about, and that's totally untrue.
So you write them separately? Like you'll sit down and write a song?
Sometimes.
Introduce it?
A lot of times I will write it separately, but then we do co-write some stuff together a lot. Shelby and I write a lot. Tori and I have written several songs together.
And on the new project, Places I've Been, Shelby and Dad wrote a song together. It's about the OK Corral. And then Jossie and Mom wrote a song.
It's called Summertime, and it's
Oh, Mom. We got to talk about Mom.
yes,
What's
absolutely.
Mom's name?
Mom's name is Kim.
I did meet her earlier today, but I wanted you to say that. I want to make sure that I had the name right.
Yes.
So Mom and Dad, their faces aren't on the cover, but they play a really big part. Are they
Yes,
the managers?
They play a huge part, and from the very beginning, and they were always so encouraging, and they just would encourage us to try our very best, and they knew when to push us when we could do better, and it's just amazing. They took us around to so many different festivals.
All over, drove us around.
And like we said, we lived in Arizona, so it wasn't like, now we live in Northern Virginia, and there's music close everywhere, a jam session or a festival or something like that, but in Arizona there wasn't. But we would, plan out, and Mom and Dad would drive us hours sometimes to go to a jam or a festival.
Yeah.
And it just, in the beginning stages of our career, Mom did all the booking for our band. We were so young, and now Jossie and I do a lot of it, but the whole family, travels. We have a younger sister, too. I don't know if you got to meet her today.
I did. Well, I saw her from a distance. I thought it was one of you guys, and when I came up closer, I realized that a much younger version.
Yes,
Yes.
much younger version. She turned 12 and yesterday
Does
at
she sing
IBMA.
with you guys?
She does.
She does. She has a beautiful voice.
Yep, she sang with us here at IBMA on her birthday, so it was very special.
And then also our brother Kai, he is 13, and he is now playing banjo with us. He's been playing for about a year and a half and joined
It's
us
only
in
a year
May.
and a half. I saw you guys playing.
Yeah.
That's pretty good for a year and a half.
Yeah,
Thank you.
He's real good.
We're so proud of him.
we are. Yep. Sometimes we'll be on stage and we'll look over and we'll be like, man, he's grown up so much, and now this is a dream come true to have him playing banjo with us. We couldn't be any happier about that.
That's great. Now, are you on the road right now often, or like
Very,
is it pretty
yeah.
much like you guys have the pedal to the metal to make this work at this point?
Yes, it's been a really busy year for us, thankfully. We've been all over America. We've been to the Pacific Northwest on tour, to Montana, Connecticut, where else? I mean,
Missouri, Maryland.
just all in between,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you teach as well, right?
We do, yes. When we're home, we teach, we have students, and we love teaching. It's so fun. It's such a great opportunity to be able to help someone learn
Very
about music.
rewarding.
And there's some possibility that maybe you'll be taking it through Skype or something. People
Yes.
should keep an eye out for
Definitely.
that, because
Yep.
that could help a lot of people out, I'm sure.
Yeah, and it's so rewarding. And Shelby, she has a couple students who Skype right now, but it's a great way to be able to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you made the album, where did you make it? Was it close to home?
It wasn't. We went up to Indiana and we recorded with Ron Stewart.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and so it was a little drive.
It was.
But it was well
It was
worth
a
it.
cold drive.
Yeah.
It was snowy, and
We did it over the winter, and we always have an amazing time in the studio with each other. You know, people ask us, do you really get on each other's nerves when you're in the studio, and is it really stressful? And all 4 experiences have just been
been
so
wonderful.
much fun. It's like when you're finally finished recording that last note, it's almost like, oh, bummer. You're so excited because the CD you're finally, finished recording, but then, you look back and all the memories that you made. It was just such a fun time. And we had a great time with Ron in the studio. We laughed so much and we drank
Did you
tons of coffee.
Did you have the songs prepared before you went into the studio? And if so, did they change while recording them?
It's a great question. For this CD, we actually pulled some songs out that Shelby and I had written a couple years ago but didn't finish. Like we would have maybe a chorus, like we had a chorus on the song Late December that's on there, but that's all we had. And we'd go around the house or whatever singing that chorus, and we were like, that's a good song. We need to finish that and work it up. And so we finished that one probably a week before we went in.
Yeah.
And there was a couple of songs like that we crammed to finish, and they worked really well for the CD.
So
And
when
then-
you were in there, though, did it pretty much play out by the time you finished the song as you thought it would?
Yeah, we did a lot of work before we went into the studio to
arranging
arrange
and producing part of it.
Yeah, and so when we went in there, we were pretty prepared, and of course we made a couple of tweaks to songs, and said, oh, what, it'd be cool to do this or that, and changed a few things, and Ron was really great, and he let us be so creative with our music. It's an all original project, and he really supported that idea and just let us.
Well, as a family band, you have experiences that. Is there anything that you would tell another family band, like anything, or for that matter, any band? Like, what would you, if you were sitting around and were able to make suggestions to people thinking of starting out and making a go for it, and giving it a shot? Like, what are some of the challenges that they could expect that normally you don't think about?
Right.
Yeah.
No, number one, I would say, is to just enjoy each other.
Definitely.
Like, if you are blessed and you get to play in a band with your family, with your siblings, your parents, it's a true blessing. And just enjoy every minute.
Yeah, live in the moment and be excited for where you're at and where you could be, but just really enjoy where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
And respect each other and have fun. I mean, that's what we do. We have a blast together.
Yeah.
Right,
And
that's great.
And it's, there is some, hard times, sometimes
Yeah,
stressful. You're all crammed in in the vehicle to get to the next show. We're in a hotel room and, you're constantly with each other. But I think we were a really, really close family. And I think being able to play music with each other has made us even that much
Definitely.
closer.
Do you ever play with other bands?
You
We do on occasion,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Shelby, she's our fiddle player, and she sings lead and all of the harmony parts. We all switch off on that, the lead and harmony. She plays fiddle with Bill Emerson and Sweet Dixie,
Wow.
and yes, and also Linda Lay, and
So they're located, I guess, close to you where you live?
They are, yes. They're located in Virginia. So that's been a really neat experience for her and for us as well. We'll go to their shows, and it's really cool to see.
Wow, that's great. That's interesting. And here at the IBMAs, there are people jamming everywhere. Do you guys join in with them?
Yeah, we do. It's
do.
fun to walk around and get a jam and
It is amazing.
have fun,
The amount of jams are amazing.
Yes, it is.
They're literally next to one another.
Yes,
Back
that's
to back.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And the amount of bands and musicians, I think, especially at the beginning of the IBMAs, when it's the first few days, I think there were more of the bands than people who are not in bands.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely. I think at IBMA on Thursday it kind of switches over from the the business conference to the fan fest, and but in the beginning part you have a lot of bands, and everyone always says IBMA is like a big family reunion, and you
Yeah.
get to see so many of your friends and that you've known through the years, and it's a really special time for sure.
So who are the people that you like listening to when you're on the road, and who's influenced you guys?
Yeah, it goes
on and on.
Yeah, it goes back to the very beginning when we heard those the bands on the radio, and we still listen to those bands, and we've become really good friends with them. Lynn Morris is she lives near us, and she just has
Good friend.
such an amazing voice, and she is such a sweet person, and a lot of bands
Yeah.
that are here this week. The Special Consensus, Stoa Loss, and Lonesome River Band, just all.
Could we show off your singing and playing right now? You guys have a song in you, maybe?
Okay, you want to try it?
Sure, we could try something.
All right, awesome. Ask you about, you have a song that hit the charts pretty good. Tell us about that.
Yes, our song "Ain't That Crazy." It was written by Jossie, charted at number 2 on the Bluegrass Today radio charts.
Wow.
So we
Yeah,
were
it's
thrilled,
exciting.
very excited. Yes,
And is that from this album?
yes,
Wow.
on the brand new album.
Places I've been.
And another exciting thing that happened with the album is iTunes chose to feature it for 24 days on iTunes. So that was really exciting
Wow.
as well.
Oh, that's great. So,
Yeah.
well, that's great. So, could people listen to that? Is there some way they could hear a sample? Well, I guess right here they'll hear a sample.
Right,
Yes,
yeah.
they'll
You
hear it.
can
All right.
you can also hear
Yeah, on our
Website.
website, goldheartsistersinterview.com.
Great. And the workshop that will be coming out
Yes,
also.
we're
That's-
excited
that
about
shows
that.
That shows some serious chops on singing. And that's why I'm really excited if you guys start to take teaching through Skype or whatever.
Yes, definitely.
That'd be exciting.
Yep, you can
Okay.
contact us through our website.
What
Definitely.
is the name of this song you're going to do?
This is an old Vince Gill song called "Go Rest High." We just love doing this one. It's beautiful. It means a lot to us.
Great.
I know your life on earth is troubled, and only you can know the pain. You weren't afraid to face the devil, and you were no stranger to the rain. So go rest high on that mountain, 'cause son, your work on earth is done. Go to heaven a shout, love for the Father and the Son. Oh, how we cried the day you left us. We gathered round your grave to grieve. Wish I could see the angels' faces when they hear your sweet voice sing. So go rest high on that mountain, 'cause son, your work on earth is done. Go to heaven a shout, love for the Father and the Son. Go to heaven a shout, love for the Father and the Son.
Awesome. Oh, that's great.
Thank
Oh,
you.
thanks so
Thank
much
you.
for doing that.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for having us.